Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing really well. Now, you join me here today. I'm at Pen-y-Ffrith Carp Fishery here in North Wales. I'm actually on the top pool this time, and I'm actually in one of the bigger cabins. I'm on peg 6. Hopefully, as I'm here for 48 hours, I can get amongst a few of the 20s or even a 30, or they have recently stocked a 40 pounder in here. I'll quickly show you some of the pictures of some of the new stock that has gone in here. But without further ado, I'll quickly show you my peg. I'll show you what rigs I'm using today and what bait. So for my baits, with it on the top pool, it's pretty clear. Like I say, it's pretty much like a hard, like gravel all across the floor. There's no silt, no weed, nothing like that. So what I have found and what I have heard off the bailiff and a few of the other anglers on the facility, pop-ups are massively productive on here. With that in mind, what I've done, I've got on a Supercharged Hardened hooker bottom bait, a 14mm fruit and nut on one rod. The other rod, the opposite flavour, OG Fish Supercharged Hardened hooker, 14mm. And then for my other rod, which is sort of going to be my roaming rod, what I've decided to do is go on a match to hatch OG Fish Wafter. It won't be as in your face as a pop-up, but I have heard obviously fish-flavoured boilies do work well here as well. So I'll give that a go. I'll quickly show you where my rods are cast, and then I'll quickly tour you through the cabin. Right guys, so for my free offerings, what I've decided to do, Pen-y-Ffrith, you don't really want to go and hammer loads and loads and loads of bait in, because they will spook off it. Ideally, you want to do little and often, get the fish into your swim, and then obviously start putting in a bit more bait. So with that in mind, what I've done to get them grubbing, I've put the OG fruit and nut crumbed boilies in this mix. I've also got the ParkerBaits mini mix pellets. With them being dead small pellets, they're like 1.5mm, they're obviously going to be digging in the gravel to find these baits. So they're going to stay on your obviously spots a lot longer. So I'm going to be using that in any PVA bags, or if I'm in a margin swims, because there's plenty of margin swims, I'm going to be using that. For my OG fish mix, all I've basically done, I've put some 14mm and 18mm in, and I've put in the sauce of OG fish, so I've glugged them in that. And I've also put in the Magic Dust by ParkerBaits. Obviously, if you do want to try out any of these baits, use my code STU, all capitals, STU, at checkout at parkerbaits.co.uk for 10% off your first order. But that'll be the OG Fish boilies. I'm only doing roughly about half a K to a K of each boilie mix first. Again, and wait until the fish start feeding on a spot, and then I'll make another mix up as I go. And for my OG fruit and nut mix, again, all I've done with this, I've put some 14mm and 18mm boilies in. Same again thing, the OG fruit and nut sauce, I've coated them in that roughly for about 24 hours, and I've covered them in the Magic Dust fruit and nut as well. So obviously when that's going in, it's going to be releasing loads of little particles for the carp to home in on. Again, just offering it little and often. I don't want to have a big bed of bait out. I just want to fish for a bite at a time, and then I'll feed adequately after that. So right, that's the free offerings that I'll be using. Do note, Pen-y-Ffrith, they do have house pellet that you can order as well. So when you speak to Steve about booking, if you want to put an order in for pellets, let him know, and then they can be waiting for you when you get there. Right, see you in a minute, guys. Right guys, so I thought with it being a bit windy today, I thought I'd film to show you inside the cabin where I've cast my right hand rod that's on the OG Fish Hardened hooker 14mm bottom bait boilie. There is some reeds that you can just see here. I'm literally got a bait boat, and I'm literally inches just off that. My middle rod that's on the OG fruit and nut hardened hooker is just off where this tree is. I'm probably about 3 foot off that, just so if there is any branches that have snapped off, I'm clear of that. And then my left hand rod, which is that roaming rod, like I said, is just where these 3 trees are here. I'm probably about 10 foot back from that, and that's on the OG Fish Wafter match a hatch. So that'll be my roaming if I see anything. But yeah, that's where my 3 rods are. I'll quickly show you the rest of the lake. Mind, it is a bit windy, so it might be a bit distorted, but I'll show you where we are. So this is peg 6. As you can see, there's 2 islands just there. Obviously there's the big island to my right. Peg 7, which is basically a bivvy peg, is just over there. We got peg 5, which is over these cabins, and as I say, I'm in peg 6, so quickly tour. I am sharing this cabin with a mate, so obviously there is both of us in here, but yeah, in these cabins they are absolutely huge, so if you do turn up with a mate, you're gonna have more than ample enough space, and it does cater for your needs. So I'll say bed chair, you've got all your cooking stuff, your fridge at the bottom, you've got your microwaves, you've also got your toilet, so also a shower, so it is absolutely ideal if you're coming with a mate, or again if you just want to come on your own. You've got ample loads of space, you've got a cooker, microwave, air fryers, you name it, it's pretty much here for you. So, and like I said, I will put Steve's number on this again, so if you do want to book on, speak to him and he can tell you what pegs are free. Right, see you in a minute, guys. I thought I'd quickly go over some of the rigs that I'm using on this session. Now, for one of my rods that's straight over on the far bank, it's a standard IQD rig. That one's on an OG Fish match a hatch wafter. And for my other 2 rods that are on the hardened hooker bottom baits, the 14mm OG fruit and nut and the 14mm OG Fish, they're on standard blowback rigs, standard braid. Basically what's going to happen is carp's going to come over this, take the bait, it's going to get hooked straight away. I'm on the bank, landing a 40-pounder, new PB, and then Stu's celebrating with a cheeky drink tonight. Happy days. Right guys, so here's a bit more of a bigger tour of the cabins, like the bigger cabins. So as you come in, the outer shell where you can get a couple of you and you normally chill for the day. The inner bit, obviously glass doors to keep the heat in. There is a divider, so if there's a couple of you, like say a couple of families or something, a fisherman and his wife and another fisherman and his wife, you can pull the divider through. As I said, toilets in there, cupboards, more cupboards, cooker, microwave, air fryer. Yeah, there's plenty of space. This is a collage of some of the better fish in the top pool here at Pen-y-Ffrith, including the 40-pounder that was recently stocked. Obviously, there's the 33-pound commons, there's 2 of them, and a whole bunch of upper 20s that people have caught over the last year or so as well. So hope you enjoy this little collage, guys. My mate Simon has used Gary's rods, the bailiff, and he's nicked one. Finally, I've had a rechuck of all my rods as well, so hopefully carp are on the munch now, so let us know if you want us to grab it. Bang! Oh, a little Right, there's Simon with a 21 dead. Lovely mirror carp. And the ironic thing was, it was on Gary's rod.
Was it?
Which I bet
And
he's
Gary's
buzzing
rig.
about.
And Gary's rig.
No, it wasn't your rig.
I left his rig on.
Always, 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 guys, when you do catch these carp, especially even more so these big carp, make sure you've got some kind of medicare. There's Corda, Fox have got their own, there's multiple companies who've got their own carp care. Look after them if there is, even if it's a lifted scale like this or mouth, a bit of mouth damage, make sure you look after these fish, because you never know, in a few years these could be 30s, it could be 40s or even bigger than that.
We'll put a bit of that on.
And for anyone new to carp fishing, this is basically just going to stop any infection on obviously them lifted scales. So here comes the lovely weather. It's been on and off pretty much most of the day now. Right guys, so the rod's finally ripped off, producing this absolutely amazing 21£14 lovely Pen-y-Ffrith mirror. So that's two lovely 20s in this video so far. Hopefully we can get amongst a few more, and even a 30 or that elusive 40 that's roaming around here. So right, see you in a minute, guys.
Go on, Stu.
Nice one. Morning guys, fairly quiet night last night. Well, I say that, it was blowing a hooligan left to right most of the night. Really bad rain, but the rod's pretty quiet. There was liners on a few of the rods, but no more takes. The bipolar opposite of Simon's night, the night before, where he had three at, what was it, side 1, 1, 4, and was it 6 as well? Yeah, 1, 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning he had runs. So I'm just hoping, the sun's out now as you can probably see, so I'm just hoping obviously we can bag a couple of bites over the next 10-12 hours or so while I'm here. I might stay a bit longer, we'll see, but right, see you in a minute, guys. Right guys, so I've recently just reached up my rods. My right hand rod is actually more in this channel now. My middle rod is, you can see some reeds here and then some reeds here, just in between there, because I saw 4 carp jump about an hour or so ago. And then my left hand rod is just in between these 2 island stumps here. So we'll see what happens. All right, see you in a minute, guys. Right guys, my middle rod, which was straight over towards the pellet feeder, has absolutely tore off. Ironically, as soon as Simon, my neighbour, his weekend is gone. And thankfully, head bailiff, obviously Gary, has tore around just to give a round. I don't think it's the biggest in the world, but it's another carp. And in stormy weather, you can't really grumble. There we go, in the net.
That's a chunk, mate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right guys, my middle rod's gone off and produced this lovely £24.10 mirror, which is very, very active. So it's a bit foamy, that's why, but which fell to a 14mm fruit and nut bottom bait with a little yellow topper on. But yeah, we'll get this one back. Second carp in the top pool and 24.10. Right guys, so as you would have just seen, I've had a lovely £24 10-ounce mirror carp. From speaking to Gary, the bailiff, He says it's the one of the original stockies he did a good few years ago, one of the Fenland strands of carp. Basically they have like massive Hoover kind of mouths, so that nailed 14mm fruit and nut bottom bait with a yellow topper as well, so it's equivalent of like an 18mm plus bait. But yeah, over the moon. So I've had that 24 £10, and I had a 21 £, 14 ounce mirror as well. I'm currently, I think I'm on about 32 hours in now, roughly. I'm probably only going to stay about another 4 or so hours max. Mostly as it's my birthday, so if you want to get in the comments, happy birthday, thanks a lot. When this comes out, it would have obviously been, but 7th of April was my birthday. But yeah, 2 20-pounders cannot rumble, and it's the first time fishing on the top pool here at Pen-y-Ffrith. Obviously I've done, as you would have seen from my previous video, almost a live take. I did a previous video on the main lake, and I've done a session on the runs water as well, but first time trying to figure the lake out. I was grateful that Simon has fished this quite a bit and give me some advice for some spots, and then Gary as well, the bailiff, he put me on a few spots to try initially as well, so happy days. But yeah, let's crack on. Hopefully we can bag one more carp before I go. Right, see you in a minute, guys. Right guys, my middle rod and my right hand rod simultaneously went off this time. Unfortunately the second one, which was a heavier one by the sounds of it, but we always say that, the hook pulled on that one. But this, equally stunning, 21 £, 2 ounce mirror, again fell to a fruit and nut boilie, but put up a good scrap. And yeah, cheers again Gary for cameraman duties and helping me out. So if you do come to Pen-y-Ffrith, as I say, Gary will help you out. He'll help you out with spots. He knows this lake and the main lake like the back of his hand anyway, so by all means ask him and he will help you. So hopefully get you on things like this, maybe the 30s, and there is a 40 uncaught, but I think Gary's got his name on that as well as a few of the regulars, but we'll see who catches it first anyway, guys. But right, let's get this one back. See you in a minute, guys. Right guys, so I thought I'd quickly run over all the pegs on the top lake. So this is obviously peg 6, the one that I've been fishing and that you would have seen me and Simon on this weekend. A massive open space, features islands, margins. So yeah, this is peg 6. I'll quickly divert down to peg 5, 1 second. Right guys, so this is peg 5. It's 2 single cabins, like I say, newly designed pegs, and you basically got this half, obviously them 2 islands for peg 6. You got this bay down here as well, and you have got all these reeds down to this far corner. This is the main lake, that's peg 4, and you basically got this whole bowl to yourself. That's peg 3, where I did my previous video, where I caught just under this channel that goes into obviously peg 3, which is here. There's peg 2, which is one of the big cabins here, because you've got the island, that's one of the major features on here. And then, as you can see there, that's peg 1, another big cabin. So yeah, these are pretty much the pegs. That's pretty much the end of the video now. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give the video a like. If you haven't already subscribed, if you can smash that subscribe button, I really do appreciate it, and it is free. By all means, drop a comment. If you would like me to go another venue you've got in mind for me to try, by all means, put it in the comment section below. Also, what was your favourite carp caught in this video today? Drop that in the comments. Or what were the actual favourite carp that was stocked? I'll do a little collage in this to show you what the new stocking has been over the last couple of years. Obviously, a lot of people will probably say the 40-pounder, but by all means, put it in the comments below. Right, take it easy, guys. See you on the next video.